Welcome to our WRF self-help workshop on legs, knees, ankles, and feet today. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the WRF Board of Directors and volunteer trainers. We have here Kathy Ann Reynolds, corresponding secretary, Tina Meyer, treasurer, Paul Harvey, director. And also here from Board of Directors is Sarah Shamidas, and she is recording secretary. And we have a very special guest again today, Liz Van Beek, our volunteer trainer from New Zealand. So a little bit before we begin with demonstration and everything about the legs and the knees and the feet and ankles, a little bit about the foundation, who we are, what we do, and why we do it. We are a nonprofit organization, and we begin with the vision of bringing better health to the world by teaching self-help and self-care reflexology to everyone across the world. Now, we are a non-vocational organization, so all our workshops are on volunteer basis and non-vocational. And our WRF volunteer trainers teaching basic self-help and self-care reflexology to individuals, to groups, to other organizations, and we do that in many different countries. And it is due to your support and your generous donations that helps us keep going. So thank you very much. Well, online workshops have been developed to focus on specific body parts. So each time we select one certain area where we're focusing on, and then we go through where to work first, second, and third. Sometimes it's on the feet, sometimes it's on the ears, and sometimes it's on the hands. So depending on what part of the body, it may change. And in a very simplified, but also very specific way, we teach where to work for best results to eliminate or reduce or eliminate pain and discomfort. All of our volunteer trainers are highly trained professional reflexologists, and we have all a passion to share our knowledge. So that's what we are doing with our workshops, sharing our passion with you. WRF's mission is bringing better health to the world. And by participating in our WRF workshops, our hope is that the benefits and the awareness of self-help and self-care reflexology can affect not only you, but also people around you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues. And again, the WRF only focuses on teaching for self-help and self-care, not for vocational training. Today, we encourage you to work on yourselves as we are demonstrating where to work on the feet, hand, and ears for the legs, and for the knees, for the ankles, and the feet. And in doing so, please be aware, always be aware not to work over open sores or lighten up when an area might be specifically or overly tender. Lighter touch is also always very effective. I always say it doesn't have to hurt to work. And please take your time. We're going through the demonstrations, of course, a little bit faster because we are limited to 1 hour. But when you're working tomorrow, or today, even after the workshop, or tomorrow, or during the week, please take your time and work the areas as long as it feels good, as long as it still gives you relief. Also, please remember that the information we're covering here today in this workshop, it's not a substitute for medical care. Please seek medical attention if you are experiencing a specific medical condition. And now, without further ado, I will hand it over to Paul, who will explain what reflexology is and how it works. Paul.
Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to have all of you from around the world with us. Uh, what is reflexology? Well, let's all just take 1, 2, 3 nice, easy, deep breaths as we get into what we're doing today and explaining what reflexology is. So, we're all aware that as human beings, we are all electrical beings, we're electric beings. And that electrical wiring in our bodies is called the nervous system. And reflexology has maps of the feet, the hands, and the ears that can associate us with uh, point us towards the direction of points that are associated with literally every part of the body. So when we push here, it affects something, and when we push here, it affects something else. And so the same is true on the feet and on the ears as well. So you can look at it as if in your home or your apartment you have electricity. You may have light switches with rheostats that turn the light brighter or that dim the lights. So what we're doing basically with reflexology for our bodies and for the areas that we are focused on is that we're turning the rheostat all the way up, increasing the flow of energy to that area. So in this case today, the knees, legs, ankles, and feet. So as that area of the body sees that increase in the flow of energy, it's also then bringing oxygenated blood to those areas. So it's the oxygenated blood that helps begin the healing process or the normalization process. So that's a nutshell explanation of what reflexology is. Stephanie mentioned the priority reflexing a little bit earlier. We're not going to go into a lot of detail about that, but it's thought that certain parts of the hands, feet, or ears. Sometimes is best to do a first, second, and third with the hands, feet, or ears, and but oftentimes you don't have the ability to perhaps reach your feet if you're in a public setting, or to sit there with your hands on your ears if you're in a business meeting. So the hands oftentimes, of course, I'm a little prejudiced today because I'm teaching on the hands, but showing you what to do with the hands. But oftentimes they're much easier for us to reach especially as we work on ourselves. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Paul. And would you please go over the maps and explain a little bit what we have this beautiful color maps, very simplified by regions. If you would explain how this works.
All right. So if we look at the image of the person that is most likely on your left as you're looking at the screen, you see the only part of that image that you see that is not color is right down the center, that is representative of the spinal column. So aside from that, then we go to the color representations, and the deep lavender purplish area. As you can see, the person's head, those are all represented by, in this case, with the feet, all of the toes represent different areas of the head. And then coming down the body, the upper torso represented by that sort of aqua blue color that we see there, and then coming off the torso, the green, which is represented by the arms alongside the outer edges of the feet in this case, and then back to the mid area, the mid torso area, that yellowish color, representing what would be the stomach area, the liver area, all the organs represented in the mid torso area. And then down to the orange or the more pelvic area that represents all of the organs in that portion of the body. And then lastly, what we're working with today, which the red area, which is a large area on the person, but when we look over at the color maps, you see that it's a rather small area, but certainly very important. So that red area on the outer side of the foot, just forward of the ankle, is representative of the thighs, knees, legs, ankle, and feet. So we have now the regions represented in the hands. So once again, you see along the outer side of the thumb is that spinal cord representation, and then again at the top, the fingers and the thumb representing the neck and head. For those of you that have been to several of our Zoom seminars here, you remember the work on the neck using the basis of the base of the thumb. We have the aqua blue color representing again the upper part of the torso, the upper third of the torso, with the green part, the arms represented there along the outer edge of the hands coming down from the pinky finger. And then back to the torso, the mid torso area, that area containing the stomach, liver, etc., on down to that orange area. That's again those organs in the lower part of that area, and then finally the legs, ankles, knees, feet, represented by that red portion. And again, on the hands, appearing to be very small, and it is a very small area for a very important part of the body, and that is the one, of course, we'll be discussing today. And then finally, lastly, we have the reflex regions of the outer ears. So again, with the color coding, you see the representations, the spinal cord, of course, and you see that located on the ears. You'll notice one thing that's particularly different about the ears is that the color representations appear to be upside down from where they are on the feet and hands. So the earlobe and lower regions of the ears are representative of the head and neck. And then that aqua blue is just above that as you look at the illustration here. And then those arms represented by the green areas of the outer ear there, and the yellow portion, again that mid torso area, liver, stomach, etc., and then the orange representing the lower torso, and then once again, finally, the area we'll be working on today, the legs, knees, ankle, and feet reflexes on the upper part of the ear. And that gives you an idea of how these charts work and can be very readily understood. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Paul. That was great. Now we will take it one step further. We're coming close to our demonstrations, and here is an overview of where we will be working today for the legs, for the knees, feet, and also for the ankles. So take a moment to look at this overview, and then we show you in detail where to work on the feet, hands, and ears. So Liz will be demonstrating on where to work on the feet today. And this will be the area where she will be showing you where to work for the legs, knees, ankles, and feet. Liz, take it away.
So when we're working the reflexes, we do an it's called a thumb roll or a thumb walk, caterpillar walk. And basically what we're doing is we're depressing our thumb down, moving across and releasing. And so that's walking or caterpillar walking, thumb walking across the reflex. And you can use either hand with that as well. So to locate it on our foot, we've got it here on this is a left foot. And as Paul pointed out, is below the ankle and forward. So halfway along your foot, you've got a wee bone here or a hard area. And so that is one indication of endpoint. And then the knee comes up and then it comes down. So when we're reflexing it, you can use your pinky finger or your thumb is easier. I'm going to use the index finger just so that you can see. And I'm walking along like this. Okay. Now, if you're flexible, what you can do, and I'm just going to move this down, is you can work your foot up on a chair next to you, and you can reflex along like this. And up to the knee there, and then along the upper leg again. So going it quite slowly, I'm going a little bit faster than what I normally would, just so that you can see. And along. And you can do the broader area as well. So inside that triangle there and then outside as well. So that's stimulating all of those areas. Now, if that's not comfortable for you, there is another way you can do this. And it is simply putting your foot up on your other leg. And here you can't use your thumb because it's anatomically uncomfortable, but you can use your pointer finger again. And you can reflex along like this. Now I'll show you what I'm actually doing here. What I'm doing is I'm using my index finger and I am reflexing along the reflex like this and filling that in as we go. There we go. So I'll pass you back to Paul now and he'll go over the hands for you.
Thank you so much, Liz. That was wonderful. And I hope you at home, you were able to follow along. So we're coming now to the demonstration on the hand, and I will show you first where Paul will show you in a moment where to work on your hands. And again, we encourage you to follow along.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Liz, for showing the demo on the feet. And we're now going to, of course, the first thing we're going to see is the new tattoo that I just received on my hand. So you see this, not really. You see the orange area along the outer edge of my hand, pinky finger here, coming all the way down into this area. So if you're familiar with coins, it's about the size of a large coin. In the US, would be a quarter, a half dollar. Other countries, different denominations, but about the size of a large coin. So the area we have right here is a bit larger than that, just to show that we can definitely go outside those borders. In fact, we could go all the way up to where the pinky finger joins the hand, that joint right there, and we can go all the way down to where the wrist joins. But this is the major area of affectation. So again, using the walk that Liz so aptly demonstrated to us. Coming in like this. And as you join me, let's all take another one of those nice, easy, deep breaths. Maybe two, just allowing our bodies to relax as we do this. And it's whether your legs, your knees, your ankles, or your feet are bothering you or not. This is also an area that can be very relaxing as you work on yourself. Coming along here, so we've shown how we can work, up and down. There are no rules. We can use the forefinger, the pointer finger, coming across, coming across, coming across in either direction, coming back this way with the thumb still. Whatever. Oh, my tattoo's falling off. Can you believe that? Hopefully you can still see it. And now it's gone altogether. So perfect timing. The tattoo's gone. We've seen the demonstration. Again, this is something that is so easy to do with your hands. If you're, you know, having lunch, you've been sitting for a long time, the legs are starting to feel a bit cramped or whatever. You can work on the legs like that, along with the two fingers, three fingers. Again, no rules, just working that whole area. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. And yes, that was so relaxing. And it's so nice to actually keep taking deep breaths, because that even brings us into a more relaxation. And honestly, I work on my leg, or actually on my knee reflex all the time, on the hands. And so that was a perfect reminder how easy it is and how you can always work on your hands. So thank you for the reminder, and thank you for showing us where to work. Now we're coming to the ears, and we will share on the ears on this illustration first, where Kathy is going to show you where to work on the ears for legs, knee, ankle, and feet. Take a moment. All right, Kathy.
Thank you, Steph. The third place you can go is the ears. And you saw a diagram of where to find the leg reflex area. It's on this plastic ear. You can see it's up in this wide ridge up at the top of the ear. This little star represents sort of halfway up on this wide ridge, which is where you'll find the knee reflex. And so this is the area we're going to be working for leg, knee, ankle, foot reflexes. And to show you where to work on your own ear, we're going to be using a sort of a tip to tip. We're going to have the thumb behind our ear and index finger on the front of the ear in a tip to tip. So it looks like this. So you're going to have your thumb behind, and you're going to have your index finger on the front of the ear on the leg, knee, ankle, foot reflexes. So this is the area that we're going to want to be working on right here. And tip to tip. Hoping you can see that. Again, no rules. We're just holding. If it's a knee issue you have, you can find the midpoint right about where your knee reflex is and just hold. If it's more ankle foot, you're going to want to go closer up to the top of your ear and hold. So it's this area, and no rules. You can just hold, you can work circles, but it's a tip to tip hold. And we have 2 ears. When you're working your hands and your feet, you're only working one at a time, but with the ears, it's so wonderful because you can work them both at the same time. So you want to tip to tip, thumb behind, find the leg reflex area on the top of the wide ridge there. You want to relax your shoulders. Hopefully rest your elbows on something to take the pressure off of your shoulders and your neck. And just hold tip to tip and take a breath. We're just going to hold for a little bit here and relax. If it's the whole area, you can just sort of move through the whole area. Not a lot of pressure is needed. So that's where we work for the ears. Back, and again, thanks for being with us today. It's so nice. Back to you, Steph.
Thank you, Kathy. That was wonderful. And wow, the hands are relaxing, the feet are relaxing, but wow, the ears are even more relaxing. And yes, we do want to hear from you. We will actually send out a survey. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And again, thank you, Kathy, for holding this area for some time. But again, you can hold this much longer at home, much longer, as long as it keeps getting better. Now, Tina will be sharing some more information about reflexology, but also about the foundation. And then she will lead us through a very brief review, just showing again where to work on the feet, hand, and ears. And don't run off then, because we have time for Q&A, and we also want to do a group photo. So, but before all that, Tina's gonna talk a little bit about foundation, more about the foundation as well as reflexology. Tina.
Well, hello, everybody. As always, it's always so wonderful to see you all, new and old faces. We are always just so happy to have you join us on these wonderful workshops. So we just covered a lot of information. We really packed it in. So we know that your little head is spinning, but have no fear. As Stephanie said, I'm going to go over a little pre-review at the end. But also, if you have any hot burning questions, we will have a Q&A at the end of this. But let's just say at 2 o'clock this morning, you're lying in bed and you're thinking, I have another question. What can I do? Either contact the person that invited you, or you can also contact us here at WRF. I'll give you our web page. It's www.worldreflexologyfoundation.org. On there, there's an area that you can contact us, and would be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Along with, on our website, when you go to visit that, we have a plethora of information. We have very good articles on reflexology that you can resource or go to for resourcing. We also have past videos of our workshops that we've had before, so you can access those. And there's just always lots of information on the website that you can get. Along with on the website, we also have an area that you can go to donate. We are, as Stephanie said, we are a nonprofit, and it's due to those very generous donations that you make that helps us put on these workshops, do a little bit more resourcing. We've gone to a few different conferences later. All of your donations help us to be able to go on and be able to spread the wonderful word word of reflexology. So we thank you for your generous donations. And it really helps keep us going. And now is a good time. If you'd like, you can see that donate button. So we really appreciate that. Also, in regards to WRF, we are all volunteer trainers that work here at WRF, and we would love to have you come join us. Maybe not being as a volunteer trainer, but we're always looking for volunteers to help us either with social media or grant writing or article writing or anything else. I mean, back office work, we're always looking for somebody. So if that's something that sounds like it would be of interest to you, please contact us and we'll put you to work. And who knows, maybe one day you too could be on one of these Zoom workshops. We would love that. Also, we talked about, a lot with the demonstration, practicing on all these different points. As we've said, this is a demonstration only. We're kind of rushing through, showing you, but we're really packing it in and going on a short and abridged version. When you're on your own and you're practicing, say you're going to be practicing at the end of this workshop or later on today or tonight or tomorrow, dim the lights, put on some nice, soft, beautiful music, set the mood, light a candle, get yourself in a nice, relaxed environment, take some deep breaths, and then start reflexing and really start feeling how your body reacts to this. You can really start feeling the effects of reflexology quite quickly. Not only that, but it'll also give you an opportunity to get comfortable and, comfortable with where these reflexology points are. And as Paul mentioned, it doesn't have to be in a dimly lit, nice, comfortable room. You could be standing in line at a grocery store and think, oh gosh, my knees are hurting. Hey, I know, I've got a point just for that. So you can go and start reflexing that point for your knees. So you can literally do this anywhere, anywhere that you please. And who knows, it might start up a conversation on what is it that you're doing there, and you can explain to them about reflexology and perhaps share the word on World Reflexology Foundation. So that's how we do get the word out there. And you can stay on these points anywhere between 1 to 5 minutes or longer. There is no, we've talked about rules. There's no rules. And if you're on a point and it feels a little tender, back off a little bit, but you can still stay on that point. So you're really good at good. Again, we thank you so much for being here. It really warms our hearts and our souls when we see you here joining in on our workshops. We really, really appreciate it. Also, remember the importance of drinking water. So, yay, water. So it's very, very important to drink that water. What we're doing when we're reflexing is we're going in and we're breaking up toxins and everything that we don't really need in our bodies. And then we flush it all out with that water. So the more water you drink, the more you're flushing out all of those toxins and the better you're going to feel. So remember the importance of drinking water. Now, as Stephanie said, don't go anywhere, people, because we're going to have some very exciting news about our next workshop. So Stephanie's got some information in regards to that. So just hold on to your anticipation. We'll be talking about the next workshop. For now, however, I'm going to just go over what we've done previously. So on the feet, here we have our handy dandy foot. The foot reflexes, the foot, knee and leg reflexes are located here on the little toe side of your foot. There's a bump right here. If you find that bump, that's a good landmark. The thigh is going to go up, hip going into the thigh. It's going to go up to the knee, right below your ankle bone. And then it's just going to cascade down here. That would be your lower leg. And they're going to find the foot about right there. So that would be the foot, leg, and ankle reflex area. And as Liz so beautifully pointed out, you can go through this area in different directions. You can go up, you can go down, you can go across, many different ways to get these points. You're doing that with your thumb, or you can also bring in a finger. Stay on a sore point, do little circles. It's all good, no rules. So that would be for the foot reflexes. As Paul pointed out, we have the hand reflex points, or the reflex points for the foot, hip, knee, and leg. That's going to be located on the little finger side of your hand, right in through here. And as Paul said, it's kind of spills into the palm side of your hand in like a quarter, a little bit bigger than a quarter size, depending on your size of your hand. But it's located right in here. And again, you're just going to go through, you're going to reflex using a thumb walk. You can bring in a finger walk. Oh, there's a little tender spot there. That may be my sore knee. I'm just going to hang out here, do a little bit of circles. Take a nice breath in, relax, visualize what's going on. And then you can carry on through the leg reflex. So that is where you would find the leg reflexes on your hand. For the ears, you're going to find this ridge. It's the wider ridge that you have on your ear. If you feel around in your ear, you can kind of locate, it almost feels like a little triangle between two ridges. There's a thin ridge, and then on top, there's a thicker ridge, a fatter ridge. That's the ridge that you're going to be working on. It's located about halfway up is where you're going to be finding the leg and the ear reflex, the leg reflexes. And as you go further up the ridge, that's where you're going to find the feet reflexes. So it's still on the ridge, but it's just kind of tucked underneath that little flap right here. So that would be the feet and leg reflexes and knee reflexes on the ear. This is a little bit different than the legs, the hands and the feet. As you're going to do a tip to tip, as Kathy so beautifully pointed out, you're going to just do a tip to tip, and you're going to hold those different points, resting your hands either on a table or on your lap, relaxing your shoulders. So very brief, but that's just a nice little overview to get you guys going. Don't forget to hang on so we have some more wonderful information. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Tina. That was a lot of great information, and I hope you enjoyed the little review. Well, thank you so much for being here today and joining us in our self-help, self-care workshop. And you can always get in contact with you at our website, and I'm going to share that again, the email, our information. We have the email is info@worldreflexologyfoundation.org. We try to get back to you as fast as possible, but please give us maybe 24 hours, 48 hours to address any emails we might receive. And I hope you had a lot of fun. We did. I know I did. So thank you so much for joining us, and I hope we see you next time.